Greetings and welcome back to the Crypto Astro channel. We have a big rainstorm outside. It's kind of reflecting, kind of like what's going on in the astrology. We talk a lot about astrology on this channel. But like this morning it was sunny. Now it's not so sunny. Got a crazy rainstorm. So hopefully you can hear my voice. Is Ethereum dead? We're going to be talking about the Ethereum forecast for this month. Welcome back to the Crypto Astro channel. But none of this content is financial or investment advice. This content is intended for educational purposes only. Okay, here's the Ethereum price chart here. As you can see, it's following this yellow line pretty closely, at least since September, following it very closely. We have dumped considerably low, as all Ethereum holders know, I'm sure by now. The good news is this yellow line recovers at the end of the month, potentially. Maybe even before that. This yellow line is the Global Liquidity Index, offset of 72 days, I believe. Something around there. So if, and that is the question of if crypto continues to follow this global liquidity line, could be a very good next month. But currently we're still not out of the woods. We're still hitting these lows around here, and it does get an uptick from about March 20th to March 25th, and then it could potentially bottom out, or it could be a higher low at that point if it continues to follow this. And then April looks really good according to this global liquidity line. So, could be good for Ethereum, but man, Ethereum has been performing, as many know, very poorly compared to Bitcoin. We could take off this yellow line there. And as you can see, I mean, ever since the bull run started, arguably 2023, Ethereum has been performing worse and worse compared to Bitcoin. Surprisingly, as previous times in history, it performed very well, at least towards the end of the bull run. We go to the previous bull run, 2021, and Ethereum outperformed Bitcoin. We're not getting that this time. Could that just be that we're getting a massive correction before the pump? It's possible. The light at the end of the tunnel is we are hitting this possible level of support, basically where it is right now. As you can see, let me zoom in. We zoom in. This is a level of support that we saw back in really the beginning of the 2021 bull run, right when Bitcoin broke into a new all-time high. December 2020, Ethereum versus Bitcoin hit support right at this level. The only problem is we've actually broke below that already. As you can see, we've dipped below that line. It could have a weekly wick down there. That's okay, but we would need to see a strong recovery from out of here. But man, it's tough to predict that, because Ethereum has not had a breakout with a confirmation throughout this entire bull run, versus Bitcoin at least. Now, if we look at the weekly scale, we're hitting these potential levels of support around here. These levels of resistance was around where Ethereum is, $1,900. Where Ethereum was, that was holding as resistance in the bear market 2022. And actually even part of the bull run in the first half of 2023 before it broke out of there. So hopefully, I mean, this could be a strong level of support. We definitely don't want to continue to break down from here. That's just looking worse and worse. So perhaps there could be light at the end of the tunnel where we head up, particularly next month. So perhaps this could be a buy opportunity. I did buy some Ethereum. I actually, for those who are fairly new to this channel, I actually sold a lot of my crypto around there. And I'm starting to buy back in. So I'm still about 40% cash. But I definitely have bought some Ethereum in this area. Below 2,000 could be a good level. I mean, if you think about it, it's better to buy things when they're on sale. You know, people bought Ethereum, you know, around 2,700. But if they're too scared to buy under 2,000, does that make any sense? Now let's look at the stochastic RSI. We got a fake out here. It looked like could get a stochastic RSI cross up here, but it just fell back down. Now this also happened back in August of last year, where it got a little cross up, but there was a fake out, and then the second time it crossed up. And what happened to the price? Ethereum started heading up from there until it got a big pump in November. So we're looking very similar to as we were back in August, or wait, more like September of last year in terms of stochastic RSI. Now, if we look at the RSI, and I update it, on the weekly scale, it's interesting because we had, I put this red line here where there's this basic level of support and resistance. We broke down through that in the bear market of 2022. But in the bull run, we did not go below that level. And then same in the last couple years, Ethereum has been holding that line as support. Particularly it did in September last year. But we just broke through this red line, which actually could signal a buy opportunity. Definitely not financial advice, but you know, typically we want to buy when it's low and then sell when it's high. You know, selling on this peak of March of last year would have been a great decision. Selling on this peak, we're now creating this clear downtrend here. Maybe there's a bit more downside to go, but if it rebounds, there could be a decent trade there. So it's interesting that we've broken down through the levels on this RSI that we haven't seen since the bear market of 2022. And many people think we're still in a bull market, but it really seems like a lot of these altcoins have already been in a bear market at this point. Altcoins have just getting demolished. But if we look at the overall, let's say if we look at the total too, everything excluding Bitcoin, we're still holding decent support here. So best case scenario, the bull market could be still on, but we need to start heading up soon. Okay, another thing I wanted to share is we go to ChatGPT here. When is the next Ethereum network upgrade? Well, we have Pectra coming up, and it's scheduled for late April or early May. And this upgrade combines two previously planned enhancements, Preg for the execution layer and Electra for the consensus layer. All right. And this could take another month or two. Typically, Ethereum market network upgrades are designed to minimize downtime. As of March 14th, Ethereum developers launched a new testnet named Hootie. All right, so they have a new testnet. But I wanted to look in the history books of previous Ethereum upgrades. The last one we had was Denkin in March of last year, and that actually marked arguably the market peak last year. When Ethereum was around 3,800 to 4,000. Not bad. That would have been a good sell when most people were feeling very bullish. Again, when we had Shanghai of 2023 in April, Let's see where Ethereum was back then. It was at around 1900, around where it is right now. So we go to April, right around here, right around this peak. So basically what I'm pointing out is that these upgrades historically are fairly bullish and typically can mark market peaks. So could we be heading into a market peak, perhaps April, May? Not bad. In that case, if that was the case, then buying in this area and then maybe selling, I don't know, wherever it gets to in April, May, maybe it's up here, could be a good decision. We'll see. We'll have to stay updated on this. Peeling our eyes on the charts. Even back in, let's see, December 2021, we had the Arrow Glacier upgrade. That was still when markets were very high around here. You know, still pretty close to the peak. So, in a sense, these historically these upgrades. Even let's look at the 2022 in the bear market. September 2022, we had the merge. September. Oh, that was right around here. That wasn't super. That was in a bear market. But in bull markets, it usually marks pretty close to the peak. So interesting information there. If we look in the top left corner here, the 24-hour exchange volume has been very low. And if we look at the daily exchange volume, we update this again. The daily exchange volume for the crypto market as a whole has been going down. And if we look onto the right here, it continues a downtrend. So we need to start building out some solid support here, or else we are in trouble for much more downside. Ever since we got the peak in December, we have been heading down with the crypto market daily exchange volume ever since, which means that any major uptrends could get sold, basically, and the momentum can lead to dead cat bounces, where we do not continue continued momentum upwards until this daily exchange volume goes up and starts to have more of an uptrend. It's interesting that I looked on X, and I was thinking I was going to see a lot of negative sentiment, but I'm actually surprisingly seeing positive sentiment, which is really the opposite of what I would think. As people are sharing this chart. Problem is, I actually purchased membership to Glassnode, and I wanted to double check this to see if the balance, Ethereum holders with the balance of 10K or more Ethereum, if indeed the bag holders are increasing their positions like it shows here. Here's the really interesting thing. Now, this chart was shared multiple times just on a search on Twitter. So it's shared here as well. For some reason, this chart is getting shared all around. I don't know if these are bots or fake accounts or if this is a fake chart, but let me know in the comments, what do you guys think? Is this a legit chart? Because look at this. I just signed up for Glassnode, paid for membership, and this is the chart, which is totally different than this one. This chart is showing an uptrend of buyers with balances of 10K or more Ethereum, that there's much larger buying action really ever since 2024. We look at this chart. Here's the actual chart. We go to 2024, and the trend has been down ever since. For the most part, we've been going down, a little bit of uptick, down. We have been getting an uptick since the Trump election, but then look at this. Here, I'll zoom in here. Let's see if I can. Look at the lower right-hand corner. Oh, I got to move my face. Look in the lower right-hand corner. Oh, I got to zoom out, looks like. Come on now. Now let's zoom back in. Lower right-hand corner there, and it's dropping off a cliff. So let me know in the comments, what do you guys think? Are these charts on Twitter like fake? What is going on here? Is there some sort of a narrative that's trying to be spun here? Are these bad actors trying to do this? I don't know what's going on, but something's kind of fishy. Something's fishy. Unless you guys can let me know about these charts on Twitter and if they are somehow legit. But I thought that was really interesting. I thought it was really interesting that the sentiment is quite positive. People are saying there's accumulation. People are saying they're bullish on Ethereum. Well, I guess that was back in January. People are also well, there are some negative things, but they're making fun of people that are crying because they've been holding Ethereum at massive losses. People are saying Ethereum's testing a very important level. What if 4K Ethereum is like 14K Bitcoin in 2019? What if the rally hasn't even started? It's interesting that people are, well, especially this guy, Ted Pillows. I don't even know who this guy is. Just in 21 shares, purposes adding staking to its Ethereum ETFs. It's just really interesting that the price is down so low. Typically, we would have extreme negative sentiment, and there's a lot of people, at least this Ted Pillows guy, is being super bullish on crypto. But I don't know anything about this guy. I don't even know if he's legit. I don't know if he's a fake. If he's legit, yeah, I don't know. Well, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Okay. Okay, now for the astrology. So for those who like astrology, you're going to love this. For those who don't, you might want to leave. As you know, there's some people that just don't jive with astrology. That's okay. That's okay. Nothing wrong. So here's the Ethereum astrology chart based on when Ethereum was born. And we look at the transits that are hitting the Ethereum chart. We got a very negative one on the 3rd of March. Saturn conjunct the Ethereum Chiron. We're getting a much more positive transit. Uranus, the planet of technology and crypto, sextiling the Ethereum Mars, which can be an explosive transit. We're not getting any sort of explosive price action in Ethereum yet. It's gives me a feeling that it's bottoming out, or maybe it's going to have another dump before it bottoms out. Certainly possible. Then we get a couple nice transits. Well, we've already gotten those actually on the 14th and 15th. Then we get Jupiter sextiling the Ethereum Mercury on the 23rd, which is very nice transit. On the 21st, we get a slight negative, Mars squaring the Ethereum Uranus. But then we get another positive, couple positives. Saturn trining the Ethereum Mars. Saturn can bring slow and steady growth, and Mars can bring explosive moves on the 27th. That's interesting. So definitely some positive astrology. It really gives me the feeling of a spring coiling up in the best case scenario. And the astrology is there for a move up in April because we get more positive. And pretty much most of these transits are positive in April as well. So, should I buy more Ethereum? It's possible. Saturn sextiling the Ethereum moon on this April 16th. Yeah, I mean, things are looking pretty good in April. Very interesting. Yeah. What do you guys think about that? Things are not looking so bad for Ethereum, at least on the astrology front, but the price chart, definitely struggling. Could we be getting support around these levels, you know? Make a line around here. We see that back in 2022, 2023, we were holding this level as resistance around 1900. We got past it in 2023. And now we're coming back to test this level as support. And if we look at the weekly close, we still haven't closed this week, so we got to close this week above, I don't know, 1960 or something. Yeah, ideally we got to close it above 1950 at least. Or could it dip its toe below and then head up later? We'll have to see. But a lot depends on this stochastic RSI cross. I think this would be the saving grace if we get a stochastic cross up and then we start heading like that. That would bring a lot more momentum in the markets. But typically when it's stochastic RSI is all the way at the bottom, it's all the way at 0, can be a good time for accumulation. Not financial advice, just what I'm thinking. So, interesting. Another interesting chart to look at is this comparison of Ethereum versus and Solana. So the bottom is, these are Ethereum versus Bitcoin and Solana versus Bitcoin. So the bottom is, let me make sure this is clear here. The bottom chart is Ethereum versus Bitcoin. We've headed all the way down. Now the top chart is Solana versus Bitcoin, and where those two arrows are, could Solana repeat the same thing that Ethereum's done, where could have one more big pump with Solana versus Bitcoin, but then could it be lights out again for a while, like Ethereum for the past couple years? Interesting to note. I think a lot of people think Solana is flippening at least a big portion of the market, which it is, versus Ethereum. But interesting to note these two chart comparisons. What do you guys think? Let's see what comments we have. Is it possible to have alt season without Ethereum pumping to new all-time highs? I don't think so. We've never had that happen before. The only chance of that is if Solana really flips Ethereum, but Ethereum still has a higher market cap. So at this point, I don't know. That's tricky. I would say no. In terms of having a full-blown alt season like we have historically, I think Ethereum needs to run as well, because it's still number 2 market cap. Will we have an alt season before May? It's tough to say. Predicting the alt season has been nearly impossible, so I'm not going to predict it, but if we did, it could be next month. Your graph isn't 10K to 100K. Oh, that's true. Well, it potentially is, because its balances with above 10K. You see how it says Ethereum, number of addresses with balance above 10K, which includes 100K, right? So do you still think it's incorrect? Let me know. Let me zoom out a little bit there. Yeah, so you're doing greater than 10K. Oh, so you're saying 10K to 100K, not more than 100K. Okay, it's possible. But it's interesting that those other charts are so completely different, where they're just seeing it go up so significantly, where it's going down so significantly on this chart. But that would have to mean that people with above 100K of Ethereum are selling tremendously, which also would not be a great sign, arguably. Look up Benjamin Cohen videos on it. Yeah, okay. Should wait till the FOMC meeting to get more clarity. Yeah, so we got the FOMC meeting coming up on the 19th. Perhaps there will be more clarity then. All right, thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll be coming out with a lot more videos, so subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.